Welcome to my Christmas pear pendant tutorial. Together we will create this simple, beautiful pendant. And you can take a look on the colors I used for those two pendants on the left and on the right. And it would be also fun to make one in the shades of green as a Christmas tree. And now let's take a look on the list of materials. We will need Bicones 3mm. You can use one or two colors. Then we will use seed beads 15O in two colors. I like to use shade of gold and silver. And seed beads 11O, I'm using light bronze. Also, we are going to use rice pearls 4mm. You can use one or two colors. It's up to you. And of course, big pear for the pendant. I'm using John James beading needles and Fireline size 0.15. It's equal to 6 lb. We will cut around 40-inch long thread and string one seed bead 11 and one rice pearl 13 times. You can leave shorter tail comfortable enough to hold it in your non-working hand, and we're entering through the first strong bead and the rest of the beads to make a circle. So we need to weave through all of them but one last one. Once the circle is complete, we have last seed bead 11. Here it will be used as a tip. We will skip it and weave through the next rice pearl. You pull the thread tight to make the tip. Like this, you don't need to make any knots. If you hold it tight, it will be okay. For the next step, we will string 3 seed beads 15 on each gap between two rice pearls, so all the way around except the last one. You just connect two rice pearls and skip seed bead 11. Oh. Pause the video to complete this step. Last gap that we need to add, and then we will weave out of the last single seed bead 11. That's the result of the second step. For the next step, we will be stringing 2 seed beads 15O, 111, 2 15s, and connect with the middle seed bead 15 out of 3. And we will be doing it in each gap between middle 15s, so all the way around the same exact combination. You can pause the video to complete this step. Last gap with the same combination goes to starting seed bead 11, and then we will weave out of the middle 11. Strong first. End of the step and weaving 3 seed beads forward, like this. Now we will repeat one more step. We keep in mind that that's the middle of our bezel. Now we string the same exact combination, 2 15-0, 1 11, 2 15-0, between middle seed beads 11 from the previous gap. Exact same combination as a netting. You can pause the video to complete this step. Last one goes in the middle. I pause the video and we have last gap left to complete this step, the one that goes on the tip. The same combination of 2 15s, 1 11, 2 15s. We string through the starting 11, that's the middle of the bezel, we keep this in mind. Now we will weave through the double 15, 1 11 and 1 15 out of 2 for the next step. Like this. We string 3 seed beads 15-0 in each gap between 1 15, 1 11, 1 15. So we leave behind first and the last 15 from the previous step, like this. And we add this exact same combination in all the following gaps. Once the last gap is complete, we can take a look on the bezel. Don't forget, that's the middle, that's where our tip will go. For the next step, we will weave out of the middle seed bead 15 that we just strung earlier. All of them will be connected. So here I will just put the pair in so you will get a better feeling how it is going to be positioned. So you can see all those middle 15s from the previous step will be connected and they will pull the bezel tight. That's the complete pendant and that's the step that we are going to add. So all of them are the same except the last one. Last one just has a single bicone. All other ones, they have 15 bicone 15. Here is the blue one, the same. So we will get some bicones ready and seed beads 15. Each gap has 115, one bicone, 115, all the way around, except the last one on the tip, because it is a little bit smaller and we need to pull it tight on the top of the pear. You can keep the crystal in, or actually it's easier if you just pull it out and place it in later once you have more gaps complete. Pear stone must be placed before this row is complete, because then it will be sealed tight. Perfect. Make sure that the tip of your crystal goes in the right spot, in the right gap. Pull the beads tight. One more gap with 15s on each side of the bicone, and then we get to the tip. On the tip, we use single bicone. The gaps are the same between middle 15s. Be careful, pull it tight, make sure that the tip is under this bicone. You can push a little bit from the sides. And we have the last one with 15s on each side. Now you can pull it tight so the thread isn't visible, but we don't reinforce the step because we are going to use the same middle seed beads 15, and if we reinforce this step, then we will clog the holes and it will be just hard to get through. So now we will be moving through the side, connecting the same beads as we use now. We will be pushing from the side. I will be using different color of the bicones to have more contrast. Here you can see I also did the same. It's completely up to you if you want to change it. Combination is the same. 115, one bicone 115 in 3 first gaps. So we are starting from the second one. That means that we have just a single bicone. We will have it the same way in one more gap through the same 15 on the side. Perfect. And now I will be adding bicone, 15 bicone in 6 following gaps. Now I'm stringing, sorry, missed, one bicone, one seed bead 15, one bicone, 115 in 3 following gaps. Almost went too far. 3 gaps to get to the tip. Perfect. So once we get to the tip, to the single bicone, we don't add anything on the tip. We just wave through that bicone and the 15s before and after, middle ones, like this. So we still have one last gap to complete. It is a 15 bicone. 15 in the starting middle, 15. If it's hard to get through, you can switch the needle to the smaller one. Be careful. Perfect. Looks better now. Now we will use different color of the 15s to reinforce this step. We won't be entering the same middle 15 that we just used before. We will be adding 1 15 in the gap between 15 bicone 15, in those gaps where we have the singles, and we will also add 1 15 between the 15 and the first bicone of the gap with a double bicone. Then we will skip middle 15 between 2 bicones and add 3 15s as a picot, like this. Here we can just go directly through the bicone. If the thread is visible, you can add 1 in between. Then 3 15s in between, go directly through the bicone, and so on. We add 1 on the way out of the last double bicone, and repeating the same actions, adding 1 15 in between 2 gaps. This way we reinforce the previous one, plus we don't enter through that small tiny 15 because it's already overload for its use. And here on the tip we will have to pass 1 more time. Again, if it's hard to pass, oopsie, sorry, I missed the bead. If it's hard to pass, you can also add 1 seed bead in between and skip middle 15. I'm using the pliers to push it through. And the last one that I need to complete. Perfect. Now I need to move to the seed bead 11 on the side of the bezel. It might be a little bit hard to get through the proper bead. Moving 1 row down and 1 more row down. So we go to the bottom one next to the bottom triple 15. Make sure that you're weaving out of the right one. So here my thread was too short, I had to replace it. And now we are finally starting to work with the rice pearls. We will be stringing between the 11ths, and the combinations, they repeat those with the bicones. So when you're below the one that is with single bicone, it has two 15s on the side. 15, a rice pearl, 15. Next gap is again below a single bicone, so it's the same. 15, rice pearl, 15. Then we get to the gap with the double bicone, so we repeat it. Rice pearl, seed bead, a rice pearl. And we do it in all same gaps. That means 5 more. You can pause the video to complete the step. We are at the tip and we have last gap on the right, 15 rice pearl, 15. And then we get to the tip. Tip is a little bit different. We add one bicone, 115, one bicone. Entering through the 11 on the same level. Then we have one last gap on the opposite side. It's the same one, 15 rice pearl, 15. And this step is complete. We can put the rice pearls away. My blue one is completed to this phase. So if you want to have a smaller one, it can be finished right now. That's how it looks from the back. If you want, you can decorate the back. And we can add one more extra row on the back if we want to have a little bit more volume added, and we can also add the loop. So let's move on. Now we will weave down to the middle seed bead 15 between the rice pearls. It's also good maybe to switch the needle to the smaller one. I will switch it later because it's a little bit dangerous. So here we see the difference. Our only first gap is made the same way. We are not starting from the first and from the second, we are starting from the one with the double because we are not starting from the tip. So we start with one rice pearl, 115, one rice pearl from this gap, because all the gaps except first and the last have the double. And the one, of course, on the tip is also different. This combination goes between the 15s. Sometimes situations like this happen. Unfortunately, it took me time to unknot this knotty thread. Okay, that is how it goes. We will continue all the way around until the last gap on the side. You can pause the video to complete. Here we go. The last one is 15 rice pearl 15 through the last middle 15 on the side. It's the one before the tip. The one on the tip is very white. In the middle has different combination, 15, 11, rice pearl 15, rice 11, 15. It's a little bit longer because the gap is bigger. And I had a little bit of the difficulties entering through that bead, so I switched the needle to the smaller one because I was afraid to break it, because I think that by mistake I made a knot through that bead. I helped myself with the pliers. That is how it looks, and we need to complete the row by adding 115, 1 rice pearl, 115. Perfect. Now we got the effect. We can reinforce the last row, and you can also skip 15 on the tip. It will make those tips look even more sharp, and of course we will prepare for the herringbone stripe and strip, and we will add some herringbones between 2 rice pearls and 2 bicones on the tip. So here we skip the 15. You can pause to complete this video, to complete this step. And we got to the gap between 2 rice pearls where we add 2 15s, and then between the bicones, so we can connect it in the loop to get our final result for the pendant. 2 15s, then we don't have to go all the way around. We can just switch the direction and head to the opposite side with the bicones. So I add 2 15s through the rice pearl 11 and 15, like this, and then I search for the 15s parallel to the one that I'm at right now, and then you try to find your way through the 11 and the bicone. Add 2 seed beads 15 for the herringbone, enter the bicone, and now you need to do the same to the opposite side. That means that you will switch the row and get between 2 15s that you strung first between 2 rice pearls. That's a little bit tricky to get in between. Okay, we switch the direction and move up in between 2 15s strung first. Perfect, we have it prepared. Now we're going to add 2/15 in between two existing ones to start the row. Now we can weave through the middle 15 and 2 rows of the seed beads up. Now we will add as many rows as you would need for the size of your loop. I will create 12 of them. If you need less or more, of course, it's up to you. I had to check how many rows do I have, so I need to make sure I have 12. At least 12. Long enough to make a loop. And now I can connect it with the front, with the 2 seed beads on the front. I enter the right one out of 2 on the same, oopsie, got the pliers. Then I weave through the middle one between 2 bicones. Then the first on the left up. And one more from the loop, from the chain. And now I can go back down, pull the thread tight, make sure it's looking good, and now I can complete the thread by making 1 or 2 half hitches on my way down. Pull the knots in between the beads and burn or cut the thread away. And the design is complete. It looks very nice in this color, and shades of pink, they make it really pop. The second one is more tender, and the third one is for the blue color lovers. Thank you for joining me. Have a nice time.